Hey there everyone, PhilChill here and welcome to my channel. Stardew Valley is a great game with a lot of players, which all of them have their own unique playstyle. Everyone has their own things that they want to have at a given moment, and with that, it gives out their playstyle. Today, I will be talking about the types of Stardew Valley players which can be found in the game. The first type of player I wanted to cover is the Hoarder. The only reason I wanted to begin with this one was because I belong to these groups of players as well. The Hoarder always has a lot of chests on the farm filled with 2 or 3 extra items of every kind, so he has all of them if the time calls for it. They have every kind of items, including the trash items, as well, since sometimes some of those items can be requested by fish in the fish ponds, like driftwood for example. I always do the same and I sacrifice the extra financial benefit that you can get for some future probability when that item crops up on the request board or a certain NPC is looking for that said item. Even though the Hoarder sacrifices a lot of the resources to begin with this huge treasure trove that they have, they're the most prepared when it comes to items having a huge variety of items in their inventory for every need, and they always know where they put all of the items so they never get lost, even when having an insane amount of chests on the farm. The second type of player that we can find in Stardew Valley is the Decorator. These players use the most of all of the decorations and assets that the game has to offer to make it look stunning. There are an endless amount of ideas that players can implement on their farm, and so far I have seen so many beautiful farm designs that I couldn't even imagine on doing. These types of players are a gift to the Stardew Valley community, always sharing their designs and ideas with all of the rest and always striving to get the best farm out there. Their farms have a lot of originality and spend hours decorating their whole farms on the outside as well as on the inside in all of the buildings, and they slowly envision the look that they want for their farm. By using the Stardew Valley planner, they can even plan out their farm in advance for all of the buildings before heading inside the game for the real thing. For some things I can find myself a bit here, since I can try to have a really good looking farm, or something more real like a park on the farm. But some of the farms I have seen on the community from these types of players have blown my mind, and I wish they continue doing so, because their works are an inspiration for more players, increasing the community of the game and giving out ideas and inspiration for everyone. That's why I think that the decorators are really precious to the whole Stardew Valley community. The third type of player we have, and I would say is the most experimental, which is the wedding planner, as I would say. For this player, they haven't finished the game or tried out everything if they haven't married every possible spouse candidate in the game, and that means marrying and divorcing a lot of times to just have every single spouse in the game. An offshoot of this type of players are the ones that secretly date the entire town, which has some really funny ending scenes put there by Concerned Ape, but with a certain item you can bypass even that. The player always marries all of the spouses and just after getting the last cutscene continues to another marriable subject to finally get to the end. I can't say that there's anything wrong with that, as these types of players are the ones to spearhead new discoveries into the game, and the leading king for so long was DF, with all of his really funny videos that he made in the past. So I really had to include this type of a player on the list, since these players experiment with fire most of the time in the game. I just hope it's not in real life as well. The fourth type of player that we can find is the modder, and these players make up the most of the community of Stardew Valley. These players always explore the unknown and test out really interesting and unique mods that you can find for the game. The mods make the game even more fun, adding more playtime, variety and more, with some even increasing the whole game for that matter, adding whole new areas, NPCs and more to discover. These players most of the time have huge amounts of mods on their save list, and they can play the game their way, having fun in the process. But as every modder knows, you should always have a backup of your main save file since you never know which mod will be the one that ends it all, causing you to lose your precious save file in the process. These players enjoy the game their way and try to customize even the smallest things that they can, but because of that we get so many rare and interesting mods that we can choose from, increasing the replayability of Stardew Valley in itself. The fifth type of player that we can find in the game is the Golden Farmer. These players do everything in their power to make the most out of it on a given day. They focus on the tactics that make the most money, and they don't care about the looks of the farm at all, if it doesn't bring them any gold back. These players would have 1,000,000 pigs on their farm just digging the whole earth for truffles, making a hole bigger than the Grand Canyon, or wine plantations that have no end. And they do the best to age their wine on time. They just nurture the crops or animals that have the best value in making gold, and don't pay any attention in making friends around the town, because that would be a waste of time and money as well. They usually only focus on that aspect of the game, and their goal is to make as much gold as they can before the day ends without any care for something else. If you see the farm in Pelican Town or Ginger Island filled to the brim with ancient fruit or starfruit only, you know that a gold farmer is hiding behind a corner just waiting to count all of those coins. The Completionist is the sixth type of player that we can find in Stardew Valley, and these players are looking to complete every single request in the game while hunting for all of the achievements the game has to offer. They want to collect all of the clothes that are in the game, all of the weapons, artifacts, crops, and more, to say that they managed to get everything possible in the game. They start off slowly with the community center bundles, which unlocks their need for more items, and after they unlock all of the things in the game, their primary focus shifts on getting all of the endgame items that are really rare or hard to get, to complete their own collection that they have. Even when they complete all of the game given achievements, they turn towards their own created ones and don't stop until they get the last one that they're looking for. Well everyone, that's it for today's video. From this list, in which category do you find yourself in? I know that I barely scratched the surface on player types in Stardew Valley, and I may come back to this video in the future if you'd like to see more of it as well. Don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future updates. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I wish you have a great day today, and I will see you all in my next one. But till then, stay safe.